Why is it that when we speak up, we're aggressive, but when we stay quiet, we're intimidating? Make it make sense. Because it seems like no matter what we do, it feels like Black women can't win in these workplaces. If we assert ourselves, we're too much. If we don't, we're not a team player. And the worst part, this double standard is negatively impacting us. It's keeping many of us stuck, exhausted, and constantly second guessing ourselves. Listen closely. You and your voice are not the problem. Their discomfort is. I personally I'm tired of trying to make other people feel comfortable. If my confidence and audacity makes you feel uncomfortable, that sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. So can we please stop playing this game? And by the way, if you're going to continue to label us no matter what, can you at least spell our name correctly while you do it? Who's with me?
So, like, have you ever been a black girl at work and you just decided to be quiet? You could have been going through something, could have had a bad day, could have just been wanting to be quiet, whatever. If you have you noticed that people got mad at that? Or people thought you were mad? Or just noticed that the energy in the room when you're silent is dead? Like, I truly did not know that I was the party. I didn't know that my input was needed for us to have a good day. I don't know. Have you ever?
If you are a black woman who is pretty and quiet, how is the work environment treating you?
What I want to know is why are people so concerned when a black woman is so quiet?
The worst thing that you may experience as a black woman in corporate is not being the only black person on a team. It's being one of two, particularly the first black woman on a team, and then another one joins. When you are one of few in professional spaces that are predominantly white, there's a dynamic that almost always happens, which is you end up being compared and pit against the other black person in the room.
If you're a black woman in the workplace, you're always wondering, why are they so butthurt that I'm quiet?
When you're a black woman in a corporate workspace, everything you do is put under a microscope. People watch how you dress, how you speak, study your clothing, your hair, and your mannerisms. People will secretly watch and report you. They will take your ideas and use them as their own in order to move up the ladder. Most things that you do will be met with harsh criticisms, even if they do have the ability to change the workplace for the better. If you're attractive, have a nice body, and are confident on top of all your accolades and your accomplishments, then they'll feel so threatened that they will gather in groups to conspire against you just to tarnish your reputation. So if you're a young black woman going into the corporate world, please be very careful and be very safe with your energy. Watch what you say and do, and be protective of yourself at all times.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My good name is Gracie D. I hope you all are doing amazing. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. I really do appreciate your love and support on this channel. So in this new week of learning, I've learned something about the corporate America and black women. So in corporate spaces where they have black women that are quiet or silent, they are labeled as cold, difficult, or not a team player. But when it comes to silent white women in these same corporate spaces, they are labeled as professional, focused, or mysterious. Crazy, right? So I've been seeing videos of black women explaining this, and this is actually not the first time that I've heard about this, but this week I've got to come across different videos of black women actually explaining this, and some of them teaching a few things, you know, to young black women who are joining corporate spaces, and also other black women who are new to corporate spaces, asking questions about why they didn't, pass the memo, why they didn't, educate them how the corporate spaces are like, especially when you are a smart, quiet, silent black woman. And I decided, let me share these videos with you guys so that maybe we all get to learn together. And maybe if there is a young black woman out there who is looking forward to work in corporate America, will actually get to understand these, or know one or two things before they start their job. So let's talk about why a silent black woman, especially in corporate America, is seen as a threat. I want us to watch these videos that I've gathered for you guys. Every clip and every stitch that you'll be seeing on this episode, credits belongs to the original creators of these videos that you're seeing on your screens. And if you're actually a quiet black woman working in corporate America, we would also love to hear what your experience is like, how they treat you, how they label you as, and everything else. So let's just dive right ahead and we'll be back with more commentary. Remember that this video is just for education purposes only and also learning. So let's watch and we'll be back.
When you are the quiet, mysterious black girl at work, you are under attack because people constantly want you to fit into this caricature of who they feel like a black woman is supposed to be, loud and sassy and wanting to be seen by everybody. So when you are opposite because that is naturally you, or because you simply want to come to work and actually work and not engage in outside conversations that have nothing to do with work, then you are automatically perceived as stuck up and sometimes even hard to get along with, hard to work with, and this can be weaponized against you. Like I had a coworker ask me, what did I do this past weekend? And I just said I chilled and relaxed. And they responded with, oh, you're quite secretive, aren't you? It's not my responsibility to entertain you with every single detail of what I did on my weekend off. Black women are not monoliths. There are many of us who just prefer to stay to ourselves, do our work, get our check, and go home.
What I want to know is, why are people so concerned when a black woman is so quiet? Why we just can't be in our roles and our positions and have like a straight face? Why do you guys take our quietness as a concern? Like, do you understand that a lot of these black women that are high performative, we're quiet because we're not used to like really expressing ourselves. Like, our culture is mostly giving poker face. We are not buddy and friends with anyone, barely even our family members. It's just like a handful of like our close girls that we're actually able to be very expressive. But outside of that, like, if there is no need for us to be smiling and to be forcing all these emotions when it comes to engaging, why do you guys need that? Like, we don't have to do that unless it requires us to. The work environment is really not that. We're really being paid to do our job. Why does it require us to also reward you guys with a smile while we're doing it? Are you guys paying us to smile? And I just want to ask y'all this. Was Massa paying us to smile in the field? Why the fuck would we want to do it now? Why do we got to put a smiley face when we got to be assertive? We're just trying to hold our heads down and do the best we can. Stop trying to expect us to coddle your feelings while we're doing it. We're already neurotic in being in this place. Please allow us to just create a safe space for ourselves to do our work. Don't ask us for nothing else. Don't ask us for nothing else. We're doing the best, okay? We're doing the best. We're doing the best. Jesus Christ. We're doing the best.
So I am going to a job fair today because while I wait for my apprenticeship to begin, I definitely need some money. And I was having a conversation yesterday with another black woman about how when you are a black woman and you are seeking employment, you have to be the bare bones version of yourself because you will be judged if you are too pretty or too attractive or too well put together. As y'all can see, I'm just doing a little bit of under eye concealer and I filled in my brows a little bit. But going into this, I knew that this was not going to be a full face of makeup day. This was not going to be a high effort day because the white women who are in charge of hiring will not hire you if you are too beautiful. When I used to work for Planned Parenthood, the white women would always be making snide and underhanded comments about, oh, you look so good, you look so well put together. And then they would try to loop that back around and try to make it seem like because of my appearance, I was not intelligent or did not do my work well, which I did. I was highly rated by all of the classes that I taught. They would say things like, oh, she's pretty. That's why the students like her. even though I'm an excellent educator who relates well to all of my students. It's really just sad how at every turn, certain people are looking to penalize us for anything. Have you experienced this as well? And despite that, I'm gonna go get this money. So yeah, I'll let y'all know how it goes.
The worst thing that you may experience as a black woman in corporate is not being the only black person on a team. It's being one of two, particularly the first black woman on a team, and then another one joins. When you are one of few in professional spaces that are predominantly white, there's a dynamic that almost always happens, which is you end up being compared and pit against the other black person in the room. There is a phenomenon called being the good, which basically describes how you are perceived under white supremacy. So maybe you are non-threatening. Maybe you have more proximity to whiteness, whether that's how you look, your lived experiences, what you can relate to. But for any of those reasons, right, you may be deemed as the good. And if you are not the good, newsflash, you're the bad one. And when you are the bad one, you will be under even more scrutiny and unfair treatment than you were when you were the only black person. Because now your overlords in the corporate workforce also have somebody else to directly compare you to. And they also feel more justified to treat you poorly because, hey, they're not racist. There's another black person on the team and they love her. But that's not true. They don't love her. They don't even like her because they don't love or like you. And they don't love or like you because of your blackness or the things that they perceive as blackness being bad. So overall, it's one big spectrum of respectability politics and, how to perform and show up under white supremacy at work. But I'm telling you, it has been one of the most humbling experiences that I've ever dealt with, being the one black girl and then another black person joins.
Respectfully, stop oversharing at work. Some conversations need to be saved for your friends outside of work. Being a black woman in corporate is already challenging, and throughout my career, I've learned keep things professional and say the minimum. For example, when you're joining a call and everyone's talking about their weekend and what they've been up to, it's okay to participate now, but keep it brief. For example, instead of sharing you were out partying until the early hours or even visiting a sick family member, say something simple. I had a chilled, relaxing weekend, or I spent time with family. Literally, that's it. See what I did there? Yes, I've participated, but I kept it short with minimum details. Oversharing might seem harmless, but trust me, it can be twisted or brought up in conversations you are not even a part of, and the context could be so wrong. Navigating corporate spaces as a black woman means being strategic all the time. Don't give anyone the chance to form preconceptions about you based on personal details. Protect your narrative and keep it professional.
So I came across these videos, guys, and got me thinking a lot of things, asking myself so many questions, but I got to understand that silence actually speaks louder than any words could ever. So this is why corporate America is like this when it comes to black women, because in corporate America, black women are expected to fit in one box: the loud one, the motivator, the strong one, the funny one. But the moment a black woman starts to be quiet, calm, or observant, the people start panicking. And it's like, what's wrong with her? She's angry. No, she's not angry. She's done performing. And that is one thing that people don't get to understand. And this is actually also something that I got to learn where I was, digging much into this story about, quiet black woman in corporate America. Silence in black women is not weakness. It's power. It unsettles a system built on black women constantly proving their worth. So it makes them very uncomfortable because black women are not feeding them what they want. Because one thing you have to understand, not only to black women, but even you as a person, when you're in a place that people are always looking down on you, people are always making jokes on you, people always have these negative ideas about you, is that when you stop over explaining yourself, when you stop laughing at every corny jokes that they give in offices or in whatever place you are, and when you stop giving emotional labor to keep others comfortable, that's when you realize how much your energy has been holding that space together. And this is what these women are explaining, what is happening and what's going on in corporate America in this video. So when it comes to quiet, silent black women in corporate America, is their silence exposes something. The system doesn't actually know how to function without black women resilience, patience, and professionalism. When black women go quiet, they start to see how dependent they were on black women energy, and that's scary to them. You've seen people asking, why are black people not out here? Because it's not only black women. When we think about everything that is happening in the United States of America with this current administration, people are asking, why are black Americans not getting out here? Why are black people not supporting us with everything that is happening, like whatever happened with, on this No Kings protest day? Black people didn't show up. There might be a few black people that showed up that maybe are MAGA or are supporting different policies and all that, but 92% and the 80% of, black women and black men didn't show up to this, and people are not happy about this. And how black people have been silenced since January 20th, it's actually threatening so many people in the United States of America. And this is the same case that is happening in corporate America. And when I was researching on this, I really wanted to understand what is this. And I got to understand that this is corporate fragility. The same people who preach diversity, inclusion, get uncomfortable when black women stop smiling through disrespect. When black women sit in silence during meetings, people assume they are plotting. They don't get to understand that maybe black women just chose to sit, watch, observe, document, and protect their peace, And this is quite dangerous and quite unfair to the black women, because this shows us a system that thrives on black women participation and not their power. I also got to learn that white fragility also plays a part in this. So when black women decide to go quiet, white colleagues lose that emotional buffer that secretly rely on the reassurance, the warmth, the validation. So the black women's silence becomes a mirror, and it makes them uncomfortable. Their own bias and guilt without you questioning it. You see, they'll be asking themselves a question, they'll be like, what's wrong with her? Like, they'll start thinking about it, and it actually messes up with their mind. And I got to understand that it's at this point that you start hearing them saying that you're distant, that you're not approachable, that you are intimidating, but they don't get to understand that you are just choosing your peace over, babysitting people, over trying to prove a point, And through this, I also got to understand, and something that I've been asking myself a question. Every time that I see a black woman, they're expected to be strong, but at the same time, submissive. And I was really asking myself, like, why is the society very unfair to the black woman? And there is a lot that I've learned, and I'm still continuing on learning. And when it comes to the American society, where black women are expected to be strong, but at the same time, they're expected to be submissive. I've seen this not through from, learning this about corporate America, but I've seen also where some black men and so many of these content creators, the passport bros, where they're expecting, the black woman to be strong and at the same time be submissive. I was failing to understand this, why every time I'm seeing, some passport bro creating videos, calling out black women, saying this and that, so many negative things about black women. But I think they've followed to these, corporate America and the white society, where they expect black women to be strong and at the same time submissive, where they expect you not to, you to be loud, but at the same likable, where they expect you to, just do as they want, but at the same time you have to be pleasing them. And the reason as to why this feels like it's a threat to corporate America and to so many other people out there is that black women's silence in corporate America disrupts the system. and they don't want that. And black women who've been in corporate America for long have learned that their words will not be valued, and they have chose to let their presence do the talking. So they've chosen to be silent because silence is not emptiness, it's intent. And that's why to so many people it's feeling like a threat. And this is why some people who've never worked in corporate America are here now asking questions like, why did you not tell us? But you know, there's so many videos. There is a lot that you can actually get to learn from any social media platform nowadays. It's not like in the old days where we had just to rely on, you know, mainstream media. Right now we have social media platforms that you can actually get to learn a lot. And I've been actually learning a lot about black Americans, about the world and different parts of the world from social media. And I'm so grateful for the world that we are living in today. You know, the technology has really advanced that you get to learn about things even from your comfort of your home. So to every black woman watching this, your silence is not weakness, it's strategy. You do not owe your voice to a room that never truly listens. Stay calm, stay grounded, stay aware. Because sometimes the loudest revolution is your quiet. I'd really love you to tell me what you think about these, what you've actually learned from these stitches and clips that you've seen on our today's episode. Let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section. I really do appreciate your love and support on this channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and if it's your first time on this episode, as I said, my good name is Gracie D, and until the next episode, bye.